What's up everyone, Moonrider here, and today I'm building a budget desk setup. But this isn't for me to use moving forward, it's for any gamer dreaming about building their first gaming setup who thinks the cost to build one is out of their reach. I get it, when you scroll YouTube for gaming setup ideas, it's not uncommon to see monetary values in the titles, like $12,000 gaming setup, $10,000, or even $50,000. Yikes. That's why I've partnered with TIQLAB, who sent me one of their budget electric standing desks. In this video, we'll not only look at the pros and cons of budget desks, but I'll also give you some ideas on budget decor and some RGB options. Because what's a desk setup without RGB? And what's the setup without a desk? Let's start by assembling said desk. And this is the box I'll be working with. The total weight for this desk was 51 pounds. TIQLAB say they designed their desk with quick installation in mind, so there aren't a ton of parts. Inside the package, protected by some corrugated sheets and styrofoam, you'll find two desktop pieces: alloy steel legs, feet, connecting frames, motor, control pad, optional casters, and hardware. The assembly process was relatively quick and straightforward, with a well-illustrated walkthrough that only consists of 11 steps, or 10 if you exclude the optional casters. I didn't experience any struggles lining up parts or screw holes, and I don't recall any screws giving me trouble. In fact, the only area I encountered a temporary setback was during installation of the sink rod, but not being able to easily insert it into the other side was more user error from me, not reading that I was supposed to turn the other side with the hex key to line up the hole. Last comment on assembly: since this desk is rather light, it's easy for even one individual to assemble. So this is the finished desk I'll be working with today. This 63 by 24 inch desk is their largest option, and for $209.99, it offers more than enough room for a PC or gaming console, and dual monitors, or even a single ultra-wide. If you don't need that much space, they have smaller options available like 55 by 28, 55 by 24, 47 by 24, and 40 by 24, as well as various laminate options which may only be available on certain sizes. The maple color or finish on this desktop is very warm, and paired with the white alloy steel frame would look really great in a cozy setup. We'll discuss build quality and stability momentarily, but first we need to finish building our budget setup. Now for this part, I'm only using products I already have on hand, so this video won't take into account budget monitors, PCs, or keyboards. However, I can recommend a budget approach when it comes to other decor, as I have been mindful on what everything cost me that I'm putting into this. Like the double XL green koi fish mousepad is only $18.99. This LTC GMO25 wireless gaming mouse is also only $18.99, and these Creative Pebble USB powered speakers cost $23.50. Let's then add our mid-tower PC case, which fits perfectly on this 24-inch deep desk. And since there's plenty of room to spare, let's add an Xbox as well. I'll be honest, I'm used to seeing way more cables when I redo my setups. This is nice, and it shouldn't take long at all to manage. So here's what I typically use to rid my underdesk of all those pesky cables. First, these EVO cable management J channels. They come in either 6 or 12 pack, as well as white, black, or gray. The 6-unit pack that I've been using since 2022 is only $19.97. They arrive with an adhesive backing which is too strong in my opinion. I peeled mine off and used 2 to 3 squares of double-sided foam tape. And another thing about these I really like is they're fairly easy to cut if you need a smaller piece, as each one is 16 inches long. Another type is this Delamu Cable Raceway, which comes in a big kit starting at $14.99 depending on length and width you choose. I prefer using these when the Raceway will be exposed, like on a wall for example, because it looks a lot cleaner than the J channels. And like the J channels, they can be easily cut down to size. Next is this Alex Tech cord protector. They're available in white, black, and black red. They start at $8.99 for the 1/2 inch by 10 foot pack, but can go up to $15.98 for a 3/4 inch by 25 foot pack. I like using these to consolidate cables or to clean up appearances when a surge protector cable is out in the open and maybe it's a black cable against a white wall. The white cable sleeve helps it not look so obvious. The next two include these reusable silicone magnetic cable ties. These are super affordable at $15.99 for a 20 pack that includes 10 black ties and 10 white ties. Lastly, I sometimes use these adhesive wire clips. I purchased a 120 piece pack for $7.99. And when it comes down to double-sided foam tape, I always use Scotch Indoor double-sided mounting tape. You can find it on Amazon and any Walmart, Target, Home Depot, anywhere. I cut 2 to 3 squares and attach them to the back of my cable raceways or J channels, or in this case, the surge protector, and I'm going to stick it to the bottom of the desk. I'll add another 2 or 3 squares to the back of the J channel and strategically place that under the left side of the desk. Then place a second J channel under the right side to handle all those cables running to and from the PC. Lastly, for this setup, I'll wrap one of those black silicone magnetic cables around the monitor stand to pull those cables in close. And there you have a cable managed setup, except for that surge protector cable, but at least it doesn't contrast against the wall too much. Let's finish it off with some decor. And in keeping in line with the theme of this video, this faux plant costs only $15, this Govee table lamp only about $50, though sadly it is discontinued, razor wired headset only $40, and Miordior RGB floor lamp only $49.99. And now, we have a desk setup. And aesthetically, the TIQLAB standing desk looks great, but how does this budget standing desk hold up in terms of stability and durability? Well, beneath the laminate, you'll find engineered wood, which is a very common desktop material, not just found in budget desktops. However, with this desk, the desktop is only 0.59 inches thick, or 15 millimeters. So when I apply a strong downward pressure at the edge, you can see it flex. Of course, this could be due less to the thickness and strength of the desktop, and more so because the desktop isn't one solid 24-inch wide slab. Instead, this desk, like many other budget desks, ships with 2 desktop pieces that are secured together underneath by screws and brackets, meaning it could be flexing less and actually lifting up at the bracket points. Now this has been an extreme example. When I casually sit at the desk like one is supposed to, with arms gently resting on the desktop, I don't feel any flexing or bending. I only make the point in case a large adult like the Big Show were to stand up by pressing off the edge of the desk. As for stability, again, if you're purposefully shaking it, you can really rock it side to side. And at its highest point with heavy PCs and monitors, it will be more susceptible to wobble despite the frame being constructed of alloy steel, which is generally considered strong. But the thing is, being a budget desk, I'm sure the frame isn't as thick or as dense as, say, the one on my $1,300 Vernal standing desk. And that's to be expected. But again, if you sit or stand at the desk in an appropriate manner, it feels stable enough. And my wife can attest to that because she actually used it while I was writing my review since I borrowed her PC to showcase the desk. And she actually liked it. In fact, I built it as a temporary setup just for this video, but it sounds like she wants to keep it as a dedicated gaming setup separate from her work from home setup. So, it's wifey approved. Let's now talk about its motorized feature. This standing desk is adjustable between 28.3 and 45.6 inches at 25 millimeters per second, and offers 2 height profiles which can be reassigned by reaching your preferred height, then pressing and holding one of the 2 profiles for 5 seconds until the LED screen shows S1 or S2 for whichever profile you assigned. Similarly, you can actually change between metric and imperial height measurements by simultaneously pressing and holding both profile buttons for 8 seconds until the LED screen flashes. Then simultaneously press both profile buttons to switch the display to U-O for metric, or press the height up or down buttons to cycle to U-1 for imperial. Then to confirm, press and hold both profile buttons again until the screen displays SUS. As for a weight limit, TIQLAB's desk and motor can lift up to 176 pounds and is fairly quiet at only 45 decibels, which is comparable to a quiet refrigerator. So with all that information, is a budget desk right for you? I know they're not the right choice for everybody. If you see a budget desk, whether standing or not, as only a brief stepping stone to get something now instead of waiting another couple months for a more durable, more expensive desk that can stack up to 2 to 4 monitors or a full-size PC tower, then you're better off waiting for something you see yourself using long term. But if you aren't looking to build a huge gaming setup, maybe something quaint and cozy instead with a small PC case, or just a console and 27-inch monitor with room for some cozy lights and decor, this desk, or even another like it, will more than meet your needs. It already won my wife over, and according to Amazon reviews, 74% out of 270 people rated it 5 stars, and another 16% rated it 4. And it seems the biggest complaints are what I mentioned earlier in the video about the 2-piece split desktop, how it flexes more underweight than people like, and that it wobbles, especially when raised up, and with more weight on top like a big gaming PC. These are all factors to consider before making a purchase. Same with the 4 and 5-star reviews that praise it for its cost effectiveness, ease of assembly, smooth motion, and even for some, its durability and stability. So whether TIQLAB standing desk is right for you or not, at least now you know you can build a gaming desk setup on a budget. Thanks for watching. Later.